Yeah, there you go. 7 billion people in affordable medicine. You're coming out with products, with a great product line that's actually helping people get access to these drugs that they need at much lower prices. So let's talk about growth.
Yes.
Because when I saw Teva go and announce that it was acquiring the Allergan business, I thought, oh, Heather Bresch and Mylan is in the clear. They don't have this on their back anymore. And yet your stock went down.
Yes.
And people were like, wow, 15% sell-off in Mylan shares. How do you get the stock back up? And tell us what the quarter just showed us in terms of growth at Mylan.
Sure. Look, the stock is a very temporary. I mean, we have executed, we've shown stock appreciation, total shareholder growth, that's well outpaced any of our peers or the S&P 500 over the years. So I think a temporary blimp, sure, there was some trauma caused to our stock. Teva came in. Teva, very disingenuously came in and said they were going to put a real offer on the table, and it did an immediate left turn to acquire Allergan. I think it was the best outcome for those companies. But in the near term, our stock takes a hit. Look, we know what our valuation is. We know the shareholder value, the creation of value that we continue to contribute. I think that this quarter demonstrates the diversification of our business, the strength in that core business to have over 30% top line, bottom line growth for the quarter. We raised our guidance for the rest of the year, almost 23%, taking our midpoint to 425. So our strength in the business is coming from everywhere. We're growing double digit in the United States, around rest of world. We've continued to show growth on a year basis in Europe. So the acquisitions that we have done over the last 8 years have continued to build on this platform, allowing us to take our disproportionate share of market share around the world.
And you're going to continue building and consolidating.
Yes.
Now, I guess it was on August 5th that Perrigo management said, look, we're making a fresh case for rejecting this deal from Mylan. What are you going to do if Perrigo doesn't happen? Is that a must-do? How do you continue to build scale in an environment where you're trying to go for Perrigo, but I guess it's all about up to the shareholders. The shareholder vote is coming up.
That's right. So under the Irish takeover rules, which is where Perrigo is domiciled, we were able to put a 2.5 in place, which means we go directly to their shareholders for a tender. So if we get through our shareholder vote, which is on August 28th, then we will move to tender directly to the Perrigo shareholders. We believe we have a very fair offer on the table, but I'm going to tell you, they're not a must-have. We like Perrigo. We think they're the right next step for Mylan, but there are many, many assets out there. We've been very aggressively looking at many things that would continue to complement our platform and allow us to, as you said, remain a leading consolidator in this country. We believe that we've got a track record that shows our ability to integrate and to continue to maintain, as I said, one of the best global supply chains in the country, in the world.
Clearly, from the growth numbers that you churned out today, and you showed that 30% growth, but you're going to have to do something, right? Because now that Teva is out of the way, you don't know who's going to be sniffing around to say, look, they're still there, and they need a partner, so you're going to have to get bigger and build scale, otherwise somebody might come calling again to acquire you,
Yeah,
right?
no, there's no question. And I think we've shown our ability to be very aggressive in the M&A marketplace, and we will continue to do so. Like I said, there's many assets out there. Given our financial flexibility today, we're about 2.2 debt to EBITDA. We've got plenty of firepower, both with our cash and equity, to do large transactions.
Where are the opportunities to acquire? What areas of your business do you want to grow?
Look, I think there's still assets in the United States that would allow us to continue to bring other dosage forms, therapeutic categories on. We see a ton of opportunity to continue to leverage the infrastructure we have in Europe. We look at rest of world. As you know, we're continuing to grow. As you mentioned, HIV, AIDS, we touch 50% of everybody on product in the developing world. So our ability to keep bringing on things like a women's healthcare franchise and continue to build out these franchises, and I said touch the developing world as well as the developing world, is what our mission is all about.
It's a great story. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And by the way, $400 billion in M&A year to date in healthcare.
Yeah, no, it's
numbers.
hyper activity.
I bet.
Everything's for sale.
I know you grew up in a political household, being Joe Manchin's daughter. You going to watch the debate tonight?
I'm going to try. I think it'll be entertaining, and I hope informative.
Look, I don't know.
I think there's a lot of great players out there, and I'd love to hear more about the substance behind the rhetoric.
And you want to hear about long-term versus short-termism.
Right. I just want to hear about some leadership.
By the way, real quick, your dad was the first to vote to defund Planned Parenthood. You have an opinion on it?
I don't.
Heather, good to have you on the show.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Heather Bresch is CEO of Mylan. Coming up.